Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Uncle Bruce, and I'm here again with Juvenal. How are you, Juvenal?
I am fine, Bruce. Thanks for asking and have me again. Hello, everybody.
Oh,
After a long,
where's your background?
yeah, I think this one is in Espírito Santo.
Ah, Espírito Santo. Okay. I
Yes,
was thinking maybe it was in the place where you traveled recently. What is the name of it? Atacama?
yes, Atacama is
Atacama.
desert. Yes, the desert of Atacama in Chile and the Salar of Uyuni in Bolivia.
Oh, cool. Cool. So we'll
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a minute. And what I want to do is to show our audience today the topic of our discussion. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody real quick. Go here, and here's the article that we read. It's the case against travel. It's why you should not travel. Not exactly that, but this is a pretty interesting article talking about the idea that you don't need to travel. This is a
yeah,
philosophical viewpoint, okay?
exactly,
And so
exactly.
this person is a person that likes philosophy, reads a lot of philosophy. And so she references philosophers about the article, about the topic of not traveling. She references Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do you know this author and philosopher?
Emerson not, but Kent and Fernando Pessoa. This is another guy that
Uh-huh.
she mentioned.
Yes.
I know that.
Okay.
I know them.
Okay. So this guy that she references, Ralph Waldo Emerson, he was an American, and he decided to disassociate himself from the society, and he moved to a lake in the woods. I think it was in Vermont or that
Ah,
region, the northeast of the United States, and he basically just wrote about his experiences of living away from everybody, being in nature. And so I read it, and I don't remember all the details, but it was interesting. I liked it. It was one
mhm.
of our required readings in high school, so it was cool. Anyway, she references it's a woman, right? I think I have that right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So anyway, Agnes Gallard, she references these different philosophers, and basically is saying that what is our purpose for traveling? Okay. And she references the philosophers saying you don't need to travel unless you're narrow-minded, is what she said, or what one
Yeah.
of the philosophers said. Only the narrow-minded people like to travel. So I actually just had a discussion with my wife at the dinner table, and we were talking about this article. She says, "What? What is that?" Okay, because it's contrary to the normal way of thinking for the people in our society in Brazil and the United States and many other places. People like to travel.
For
So
sure.
why did she say that she did not like to travel? You remember one or two things that she said why we should not travel?
I think there are some points here, Um I think that actually this article um, rose a lot of controversial last year when she launched in the New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, she says that the most of people, travel like, if I can say, like an hedonist behavior.
And or
So
hedonistic.
hedonistic, yeah.
Yes, like I
So
am
it's
so cool. Look at
yeah,
me. I
yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah.
Colombia last week. And I did. I went to Colombia. I went to Cartagena,
Ah,
Colombia.
okay.
And
Yeah.
we'll talk about that, but it's like, oh, I am so cool. I went to Cartagena. Where did you go? Oh, I didn't. I just worked. I worked all week. I worked all month. I haven't traveled in a year. It's like, oh, come on, man. You need to be like me. I'm so cool.
Exactly. So the point is, and one of the authors that she mentioned
Mhm.
said something like, if you need to go to, some place to change, you actually does not exist. You don't exist.
Oh yeah, she's
So
saying
it's
about feeling.
yeah,
In
exactly.
in order for you to feel life, you need to travel. So it's like,
Yeah,
wow, you are so narrow-minded. This is the way you think. You need to travel to feel good. So this is
yeah,
the argument she's using to not travel. It's like, what's the
yeah.
reason to travel? To show off, to show people that you
Hmm.
are so cool. You have money to travel. You have time to travel. What's the purpose of travel? Now, if you need to travel for work, that's another thing.
Exactly.
Or if you want to travel because you're moving from one place to another to live.
Hmm.
Okay. So what is your opinion of this place that you visited? Why did you go, Juvenile?
Yeah, actually, I traveled inside of the travel of my wife. So
You
it
came with
it
your wife.
was
So you're
yeah, it
blaming your
was
wife.
not my dream.
I only
It
went
was not
because of
my
my
dream.
wife.
But
Hey, come on. But why do you
yeah,
like to
but
travel? I know you like to travel. Why do you
yeah,
like to
for
travel?
me, what is most interesting to travel is the opportunity to, and she uh, said something in the article
Mhm.
about, to meet and know new people, not to make a new friendship because it's a short time to do that, but I think you can enrich your life knowing or visiting new places, meeting new people, knowing about culture, arts, and it's so rich. Yeah, and in my opinion, it's something that keep you alive.
Mhm. Mhm.
To open your perspective, your life perspective,
Mhm.
and visions about world, mainly in the time that we are living, where people are so intolerant, and there are a lot of bias around us.
Yeah,
So I
prejudices. Yep.
exactly. So for me, I think it's so important to travel, but if you enjoy the time to do things like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
In the article, she said something like, if you don't like museums, if you don't like art, why do you do this on travel?
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense. And in this way, I tend to agree with her.
Okay.
you
I
know,
can see her points. Some areas I can
yeah,
see her points, but I can tell you the reason I went to Cartagena, Colombia, is because my wife and I watched a movie. It was called "The Sound of Liberty" or "The Sound of
the
Freedom."
sound of freedom. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
about some kids. I think we had a discussion about this, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
spoke
yeah.
about
And
this.
so in the
Yeah.
movie, part of the background, part of the area that it was shot in, the movie was in Cartagena. I said, wow, that
Hmm.
looks so cool. And you know what? It was beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And so there was a good reason to go there is to see what I saw, or to go to a place that I read about is another reason, because you read about some interesting places. Let me go see that place. Okay. Like you can go to Paris, you can go to Athens. You could go to many places. I like to travel. I like to experience the taste, the smell, the vision, the view of the different places.
Exactly.
Okay. And then to
Exactly.
taste the food. Ooh, I like that a lot.
Me
I love
too.
to eat food.
Me
So
too. And
and you know what? We made some new friends. They're
yeah.
not deep friends yet, but the guy gave me more than $50. Just, if you need this Colombian money, here, take it. Because there was a possibility I had to go to the bank to get exchange for my money with dollars
Hmm.
to go to Colombian money. And so he
Hmm.
said, well, listen, I have 200 of the Colombian money. It's $50. Just use this tomorrow. And so he trusted me. and he's not a like a high level executive, right? He has a good job and actually he's from the United States, but originally he was born in Colombia. This guy is from Colombia. His wife is from Colombia. They live in New Jersey now, near New York, and they were traveling in Colombia for vacation because they like their own country and they missed their own country. So we met them and we became friends with them. We went to on a dance cruise, a dinner dance cruise. And so we danced with them. We had a good time with these people. It was really fun.
Exactly.
But they gave us money, trusting us that we were going to give the money back because they felt that we were trustworthy people. And they said, okay, here's some money if you need it for tomorrow. And so that was very cool to meet these people. Tell us about your experience in Atacama. What did you do?
And for me, it was very interesting because I had the opportunity to exercise my Spanish, after years.
Español.
Exactly. Exactamente, compadre.
You know what? I use Portuñol, okay? And it was not easy because the Spanish is not 100% with the Portuguese. No. You have to know the Spanish to really do well. And so, when they see that you can't speak Spanish, oh, we have a special price today just for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think I told you some time ago that I enjoyed the time of pandemic. Number one, to participate on the EBS radio,
creating
at
the
the beginning.
Station.
Exactly.
That was fun.
And number two was an opportunity to learn Spanish, and I had classes with a lady, a Cuban lady, for 2 years, and I had the opportunity to exchange language with a Colombian girl as well. So in this trip, I had the opportunity to exercise that, and man, was amazing because I think it happens with English as well. Okay, it's the same. When you can speak, when you can interact with native people, local people, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I think such as you had the opportunity to make friends, I had as well.
Cool.
So
cool,
man, it's magical.
Yes. Well,
to experience
so this article was a good topic to think about, to consider how other people think, because not everybody thinks like you or me.
Exactly.
Everybody has a different view of life. So it was interesting to read about the philosophers that she referenced and about her own opinions about, how we should view our ability to travel. Because she said she went to Abu Dhabi. Okay, do you remember that part? She went to Abu Dhabi and she said, okay, what am I going to do in Abu Dhabi? Okay, she went to a Falcon hospital.
Falcon Hospital, yeah.
So she visited a hospital where they help falcons that are injured and they bring them back to good health to release them back to nature. But this hospital for falcons, which are like eagles, they're big birds. And so this hospital, she had a picture of the falcon on her arm, on her wrist.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a tourist thing. And even inside the hospital, she said there was a certificate. It says excellence in tourism. And she said, I thought this was an animal hospital. What? It's for tourists. It's a tourist place to go see something different. So I went to a falcon. It's called Falcon Hospital, or a place where they do things with falcons. And to work with falcons, it's called falconry. And I remember going to that in Alaska, where my kids were living at one time. And I went to this place and said, well, this is interesting. And my son was helping to care for the falcons at that time. So it was kind of cool. But it's like, what am I going to do in Abu Dhabi? Okay, I'm going to visit the shopping center. I'm going to go to the tallest building in the world. I'm going to go to a beach. But what do you go to the beach for? The beach is probably not that good. And, you know, compared to Brazil, there's no. I went to Colombian beaches, guy, and the Colombian beaches do not compare to the Brazilian beaches. The Brazilian beaches are better. It was nice. The water was interesting and all that, you know, but there was, I don't know. I think the Brazilian beaches are better. So what are you going to do where you go? To Colombia, where you go to Abu Dhabi? What's the purpose? You know, if you don't have a clear purpose, it's like, why are you spending your money? Why are you spending your time and energy to go someplace and you don't have a clear purpose for it? And so that was a good reason for her article. It's like, what's the purpose of your travel?
Yeah. I think that there is a part in the article that she said, okay, if you don't have reasons like benevolence, like work or, you know, research, study, it doesn't worth to travel.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
But I was thinking about this because, you know, after 2 weeks of vacation and I saw this article, I was thinking about, and maybe the point is due to the fact that we are living in a, you know, so how can I say, Instagrammable
social
world,
media.
social media and other stuff. You see, and you see all of the time people, you know, influencing others. Oh, go to there, or go to this country, go to this city, go to the, you know. But in this case, I understand what she said in the article because it's so empty.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah, because there's no reason, you know.
I can tell you. I can tell you, we went to a museum in Cartagena, Colombia. Okay. And it was called the Museum of Cartagena. The one thing that I took from this whole museum experience was that there were 11 million slaves brought from Africa to help build the Colombian society. 11 million? It wasn't 11 mil like 11,000. No, it said 11 million. It's like, what? 11 million. I don't know. Maybe I misread this, but that's a lot of people, man. I think maybe it was 11,000 because 11,000 is a lot.
No, man. I think it's real. It's real.
Real? 11 million?
Yeah, the slavery on South America was something very
terrible.
sad. Very sad.
Think about it. 11 million displaced people from Africa going to another place. That's a lot of people they miss now.
Exactly.
So wow, man. That's crazy. That's something I remember from that trip inside the museum. 11 million. My wife was saying that's a big number. So
for sure.
That was very sad to hear and read and understand.
We cannot forget that all the growth or the way that South America developed was based on slavery until the
emancipation. Emancipation of slaves.
I think it was
1877.
18th century. Yeah.
Something like that, because in the United States it was 1865 with the Battle of Gettysburg, and then Abraham Lincoln emancipated the people.
Yeah. I think it was the first country to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
the other
But it was a terrible thing in the United States too. I mean, today it's a whole different reality, but just think about that time when people were slaves and then they became emancipated. They still didn't have anything. They didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, in the United States, there's a movie producing firm called 40 Acres and a Mule. 40 Acres and a Mule is by Spike Lee. That's the name of his production company to create movies. And so this idea that the freed slaves, every freed slave was supposed to receive 40 acres and a mule, because a mule was like a tractor at that time. That was a way to work in your field. And 40 acres is a lot of land, actually. It's a big piece of land. But it didn't happen. It did not happen.
Yeah. In Brazil, for example, the abolition of slavery,
Emancipation.
happened almost in the
beginning of the 19th century.
20th century.
Uh-huh.
It was 1888.
Okay.
So, man, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time, and the way that happened was not so transparent or fair for those people that was separated from the family, from the hometown.
Yep.
So it's so sad,
Yep. So
and
that's
you have
something
the
interesting
opportunity
to learn about. That's okay.
Yeah.
I went to a museum with my wife because she likes museums. I like them okay, but she likes to study. Let me read all the information. I say, okay, baby, I'll see you at the cafe at the end of the museum. Okay. I go to the cafe. I have my coffee, my brownie, whatever. I like to look at the things, but I don't like to read. And many times it's in Portuguese, or in this case, it was in Spanish. They had some English. I read the English, and that's where I learned some things. But, the main thing was the number of slaves that helped build. In Cartagena has a wall all the way around it. And so this is in the place that you go to is called the walled city. So there's a wall all the way around the city, and it's very cool. It's very cool. But to think about it, the slaves built that. The slaves built that area.
Yeah.
So anyway, to go and learn, that's one thing. To go and just do whatever is another thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't have an agenda to go to Cartagena, except that it was beautiful. And I know they have beaches, the ocean, So we did a lot of things there. We went to nice restaurants, saw some things historical, went to the beaches. So we had a good time. We really did.
Yeah. I can say, guys, if you want to travel, so enjoy your travel, to know the place, to know the history, interact with people, and take in account that it's very important to dive into the history. I think this is the what make your travel funny,
Yeah, funny and fun.
So don't think only to take selfies because this is a play.
Yes. So one thing is that I thought about this is that I'm older now, and there's going to be a time when I don't want to travel. I don't want to travel because it doesn't feel good to travel, to say in a seat. It didn't feel good to travel this time either, but I tolerate it. I have pain in my leg, pain in my back. So those parts I do not like. I don't like to fly. I like to go to other places and to be in other places, but I don't like to fly there because my body does not feel good. I think I need to drink a bottle of whiskey or something. I don't know what, to forget about the pain, because I have pain in my legs and I'm trying to go through physical therapy. So if you have difficulties like that, you're saying to yourself, man, I don't think I want to travel that much anymore. So, the idea is to have fun while you do it. And, there's going to be a time when you're not going to. My mother doesn't want to travel. She's 86 now. She's 86. I'm 67. And so there's going to be a time when I'm going to say, oh, no more travel. And I'll stay in Brazil, or I'll go live back in the United States and say, that's it, I'm done. Because traveling is not fun for me. My wife likes to travel. She likes the food on the plane, believe it or not. you know,
Mhm.
all the little compartments of things. It's like, okay. So
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, long trip is it's not good for the
well, the
body.
philosophers, so what
Yeah,
we're also saying is like, you need to be happy where you are. And one of the philosophers, I don't
Mhm.
remember which one, that said, you know what I learned when I went to France? How much I like
Yeah,
my own country, you
exactly.
know? And in fact, in Colombia, my wife and I had a lunch at this very simple place, but the food was good. We were talking to a lady. She was talking in English to us, not the
Mhm.
person of the restaurant, but somebody in the restaurant sitting down. It was very simple. And there was a guy there that spoke perfect English. And evidently he's traveled a lot. And he works with energy. He works with energy. He knows the energy companies in my state, in the United States. He knows the energy companies in Michigan, you know, and he knows the company in Detroit and on my side, Grand Rapids. He knows them. It's
Mhm.
like, how do you know the energy companies in my state? It's because that's his business. He does it day after day after day.
Uh-huh.
They sell
Yeah.
energy to the energy companies in the United States. Evidently, they are like the big holder of energy around the United
Mhm.
States. And then they, you know, he's part of that group. It's probably worldwide, the United States, Colombia, and other
Mhm.
states, other places. So they sell energy to these companies in the state of Michigan and other places. It's like, wow, man, that's so interesting. You're in Colombia, you're back in Colombia. He was in Europe. And he said, I was so happy to return to Colombia, where people like to live, people like to
Yeah.
enjoy life. In Europe, it's like business only, go, 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 work, work, work. He said, man, my people know how to live life. They know how to enjoy life. I
Mhm.
love my country. I love my people in Colombia. He says, I don't want to go back to Europe. He said it was so
Yeah.
boring. He said it was just
Yeah.
business and everything's so serious. You go to a cafe, you go to a restaurant, and everybody's like, okay, be careful about what you say, what you do, because everybody's watching you. And it's like, oh man, come on. Live life, be happy, happy, happy. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
interesting to, and that's another reason is to understand the culture. We became culturally sensitive when we met the people from New Jersey that were Colombian, and also
Mhm.
this guy and also the people in the hotel. They represented Colombia for us, and it was a nice experience. Good people, like Brazilians.
Yeah. For sure.
And how about
For
in
sure.
Chile?
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. The Chilean people is very similar to Brazilian, so
The
they
Latin people,
use
the Latin
yeah they
Latinos.
used to smile a lot, you know, and
Cool, cool.
to grab some beers, you know.
Did you drink some beer
That's good. Yeah,
or
yeah.
some
I
wine?
tasted oh for sure. No. Actually, I tasted a wine in Bolivia, a
Was it
Bolivian
good?
wine, a Bolivian wine. Yeah, that's good, but for my taste, it's okay.
Okay, okay.
It's a good wine.
Good, good.
It's honest.
Yeah. So, guys, listen, we appreciate you coming out and listening to us gab. You know the word gab means to talk. Gab, 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 yap, yap, yap.
Okay.
So, to listen to us talk about this topic of travel or not to travel, and it depends on your perspective. So, the writer of this article, it made us think. It made us think about why we like to do the travel. Why should we travel? Why shouldn't we travel? So, it was an interesting topic. Very good article, Juvenal.
Thanks. Was a pleasure, as usual.
Yes. So see you guys later. Bye bye.
Okay, guys, have a nice week.
You too. Bye bye.